a few KT session with the customer, as well as the point of view, what are the feedbacks do we have from the customer, and what are the understanding of the knowledges we are gained from our customer and perspective. So initially that recommend analysis will be shared by the customer, so they will be giving what the basic business recommend does it about, and they will be explained one by one through one SMA. SMA is nothing but subject matter expertise. So they will be giving the KT through the testing people, testing force or QA members we used to call it, and they will be getting all the KT information from the particular SME. Once they receive all the KT from the requirement analysis, and as part of the QA side, I mean testing team side, they will be giving a reverse KT to them, so that they will be checking whether their understanding as well as the testing point of understanding will be there equal or unequal, or any other mismatch is going on. They will be raising inquiries through Excel sheet and spreadsheet, and they will be sending back to the customer. So once everything will be done, every doubts, every clarification is done through in test planning. So once the test planning, that is that finalized before starting the test design, will be getting a clarified and approved from your customer side. Once everything is done, we'll be moving on to the test case development. Test case development is nothing but we'll be writing a scenarios as well as the test cases. So scenario is nothing but the 2 to 3 lines words and a short description way and through expected result. So suppose you are logging into Amazon application and your customer says that verify whether username should be in this many characters. So we have to mention the scenario type, and expected result is obviously like the login should be successfully. So that is your scenarios. So this will be a 2 line words, and expected result should be in a positive manner. So what that application gives, that business customer will be giving it through your business requirement. So those things will be written in your test case development. Test cases as well as test design. Test case is nothing but each step-by-step process. For example, you are logging for Amazon application. What are the required fields you must be filled in? So that is what, like username, you have to enter password, and you have to click the login button. So step-by-step process will be done through your test case development. Once the 3 steps is everything is covered by all this requirement analysis, test planning, and test case development. The next one is like environment setup. So that is a test precondition environment, so that where the testing team can able to execute all the business requirements in the environment setup. So they will be giving a pre-production environment setup team to the testing team. So in that they will be giving a dummy password and dummy username for the particular application. Suppose you are going for you are working for Amazon product or Amazon web application, they will be giving a dummy test name and test password and test pre-production environment. So you will be testing those IDs and the application with using the whatever required IDs shared by your customer. Okay, so that will be done through the environment setup. Environment setup like pre-production testing environment is shared to the testing team. So in that they will be testing all part of execution of the business requirement, they will be sharing on it. So moving on to the next one, test execution. Test execution nothing but every whatever test scenarios and everything is been done through your test planning phase. So it will be moved to your test execution, and test execution will be using a HPQC ALM. So obviously many people would have aware of it. What is actually in that HPQC ALM? So that is nothing but test execution tool for manual testing, manual intervention. So all the test case has been pulled up through your Excel sheet, and you will be executing all the test cases through QC ALM. So it is nothing but it is a tracking purpose of from testing team as well as the customer side. So whoever is going to execute your test cases of the particular application, those tester execution status will be tracked from the customer side, and they'll be seeing what are the defects you have been raised for the particular application, either valid one, and you will be assigning all the defects to your development team. So once the development team see those defects, whether it's a valid one or invalid, they'll be updating their comments, and after that they'll be people those who are joined kindly put on mute. Okay, so after that execution is done and the defect has been raised, so they will be updating all the required relevant data for whichever you are raising a defect. So the development team will be updating those things, those relevant updated comments in your suggestion update comments field. Okay, so once everything is raised and it has been retested to the testing team, and again the testing team will be retested the particular defect you have been raised, and you have to close it the defect, whether it is working as expected or still you've been facing any issues in your the publication or any environment setup. So those things will be raised again as a reopened. Once the issue has been resolved, you can automatically you can close your defect and you can pass your test cases. So daily excuse. So actually, a tester point of view, and as per the customer side, there will be a day-to-day activities like today. I mean, for per day, particularly, you have to execute 20 test cases around 20 to 30 test cases around. So they'll be tracking all whether this tester has been executed at the 20 test cases or more than 20. If the based on the application or environment setup, everything is stable in your application and environment setup. So those things will be tracked from your testing team, as well as in QC will be tracking all those things. So that is a one kind of helpful tool with the customer side as well as the testing team, sure, which is used in HPQL, HPALM QC. Okay. So next one is like test closure. So nothing is it is nothing but whatever relevant document, whatever application you have been doing, and you are executing this application, right? Which you've been, for example, you have been working for Amazon application. So from the initial stage, what are the things you've been got from the customer side? The requirement analysis and test planning, and the test planning is nothing but the queries, and whichever you raising a clarification to the customer side, all this will be documented and you will be saved in your mail or whatever thing your shared drive with the shared by the customer, and everything it is finally documented and it will be sent to your customer. This is nothing but to check, verify whether that whatever initial stage that testing team has been covered all the documents which were shared by the customer and which was given to them, like these are thing will be covered in this 3 months of phase, and what I mean, they will be allocating like 6 months project or 3 months of fixed bid project. So those things will be validated in test cycle closure. So if after it moves into the production, if anything is mismatched after this recommend documents and everything is mismatched and test cycle is closure, they will be verifying it whether these are thing whether the testing team has been involved it or they missed out something else. They will be checking all those things in your test cycle closure document. So this is about the software testing lifecycle does it in your manual intervention testing. So moving on to that, we'll be seeing that knowledge transition. Knowledge transition, what that is what whichever we said by we are getting a KT from your customer side, and same thing which is given a reverse KT to your customer side, so that there will be like no, I mean there is no mismatch of whatever they are understanding and everything. It should be in the same sync up so that they can write it through your test cases and test design, and they can get an approval from your client side. So next one is like requirement types of documents. So what are the requirement types you usually will be getting? Like a functional requirement and non-functional requirement. So functional requirement is nothing but the business requirement. So what that application states about, so that will be getting it. And the user requirement, where the customer how they are going to use it. There will be a specific flow for each customer, right? So for the particular application, what are the flows we are going to check it, and how we are going to navigate for each flow by flow process. For example, if you took an Amazon or Flipkart, right, there will be certain limitations set, like there will be some offer zone will be in the front page of Amazon application, and Flipkart will be in different tab, right? So those are the user flows, and the business flows will be changed by different from client to client. So those are the things will be shared from the customer user requirements and business requirement and functional specification. For example, you can take as an Android and as well as an Apple phone. So you will be find that uniqueness of Apple and Android, right? Whatever you can able to download through Android easily, but in Apple, I mean in iPhone, you can have a restriction of you have, whenever you will be downloading any software or any app, in the sense it will be asking an username and password, so that it's kind of authenticated, right? So it will be differ from your client to client. So that's how they mention on it, the functional requirement, specification, and business rule. There will be a set of business rules. So these things will be come in your functional requirement. And non-functional requirement is nothing but that performance, load, responsibility, and those are things will be come from your non-functional requirements. So we have a clear picture of what are the each and everything functional requirement, what in detail we have been described in this slide. So if you have any queries, kindly drop us email or just raise your hand, so that we'll be clarifying all of whatever doubts you have, so we'll be clarifying on it. So next one is like test strategy and test planning. Test strategy and test planning will kind of documented. So what, suppose you are put into 3 months project. For example, you are working for Amazon, that will be short-term project, 3 months. So initially they will be giving a business requirement document, and what are the things you are going to cover for 3 months from the initial stage, from the requirement analysis, from environment setup, test planning, test design, test case, how much test case you are going to write, and test scenario based on the application, based on the requirements and everything. There you have to pre-initialize, you have to written in a document, and you have to send it to the customer, so that in a sense for 3 months this is how we are going to work it out, and we are going to complete your execution, and then we are going to give the product at the end of this day. So we'll be having a test plan for each phase. Excuse. For initially for 1 week we'll be doing a test planning, and then another week you'll be doing a test design phase, and you'll be covering this many scenarios, around 300 to 400 scenarios, and the same thing for test cases, around one-to-one map. If it is one-to-one mapping, you will be getting around 400. If it is one-to-many mapping, it comes around 400 to 500 test cases. So this will be covered by this many, I mean the start date and end date, everything you have to mention, and how many resources been working, or and what are the credentials you needed, what are the data setup you needed for the particular application to be tested, whether the environment setup will be given from the dev team or the customer side. Everything you have to involve in this test strategy document, and you have to document it, and you need to uh, upload it to your customer side, either through share drive or any particular format which is being given to the customer side. There will be a navigation to the path, so you can able to download it, and you can just upload it, sorry, you can upload all the documents to the customer, and they can able to verify it. It's kind of a documentation process for test strategies planning. Okay, so this is how the test strategies will be doing in, we have been given in detail, so you can just go through it. So this is how the test planning flowchart. What is or what we are going to do as a tester point of view? We'll be doing the preparation of test plan, process, tool setup, review of test plan, and how much defects we are going to, that will be later covered through your closure report, and recommend analysis, test strategy, test evaluation, and who is going to approve your test cases, revise test cases, and any approval needed on what are the metrics you are going to do it, and weekly status report you have to send it to your customer based on your execution, design perspective, and test recommend analysis. This I think will be tracking purpose, so that the customer should aware of it, what are the testing team is doing on daily basis, and what you doing for 8 hours, and what task is being performed, or even the task thing also you can send it to your customer. This I think it's been performed as per the today, as per the recommend we receive from your answer, and this many recommend has been mismatched, it is not a functional recommend, and those are I think queries you can raise to your customer, and you can document it in your test planning. Whatever changes document will be there, and if it's once you start your test design phase, only after that I mean after you receive the latest updated document with a particular version, and you have to get an approval, and this is the finalized document we have, and we got an approval from the client side, and after that only you're going to proceed with your test design phase after using the finalized document. Clear? So moving on to that is nothing but the software testing. So software testing is nothing but we are going to check about the quality of the product, which whatever the quality whatever the quality we are going to deliver to the customer, will be doing it. We'll be checking all the design phase and everything with the environment, and all the details which will be shared to your customer side, with the clear side of all software quality which is being given to your customer side. Okay, so we'll be having an what are the things we'll be going to do it in your software quality attributes, in the sense we'll be checking all the portability, maintainability, and what are the things which has been adapted to the particular environment. These things will be efficiency, functionality, and everything will be checked through the based on the requirements and applications which we use at the customer, which we use to deliver to the customer. We'll be verifying all the external ability of this application, and we'll be covering all the particular test cases by through test cases, and we'll be getting approved, and after that we'll be doing an execution point of view. So once we covered with all the functionality which is covered, and we'll be sharing all the good quality of, as a tester point of view, we must to find many defects in the application, whether the code is being developed as correctly by either whoever creates the code, right? We need to create, I mean, we need to find the bugs, and if it is a valid one, it is obviously it goes to your customer side and rectification that these are things a valid bug, and they will be rectified, and they will be sent back to your retested to the QA team. So the QA team will be testing all this whatever defect you've been raised and retested once again, and you'll be doing a regression testing. And once the regression testing is done, and after that you will be finally end of the execution point of view, excuse, end of the point of view, I mean end of the execution phase, you will be delivering your software code to your customer. So we'll be validating all the software things and software quality of attributes and everything. We are put in a detailed form of it, so we can go through the slide, and you can come up with your queries and you can get clarify on us. Okay, so excuse, so usually we'll be doing a waterfall model. So waterfall model is nothing but the same. Will be receiving the proper format, like a recommend will be receiving, and after that we'll be having a test planning, and after that, after test planning is done, and after we get the clarification queries and everything is rectified, we'll be getting confirmation, and after that we'll be moving on to the design phase. And once the design phase and whatever whatever uh, re- re-verification and validation is done through your test cases, and it has been approved from the customer, you will be doing in this implementation. That is after the environment setup is everything done, and the pre-production testing environment is given to the testing team, and we'll be testing with that whatever data which we need to test our application. All the things you'll be doing in your test execution pane once you receive the environment setup is paka and ready. Okay, so after that you'll be verifying, and it goes on till your production. You'll be testing, you'll be helping your customer side till UAT phase. UAT phase is nothing but user acceptance testing. So once after execution is done, you will be developing the, I mean you will be uploading the code, deliver the code to your, deliver the application to your customer side, and he or she will be checking whether the testing point of view has been done correctly. They will be giving an happy path scenario, so those scenarios will validate in a particular testing environment in their side, and they'll be checking whether this application, this code can be deployed into production. They'll be having a go and no go meeting, so that once everything is their point of view as well as testing point of everything is goes fine, and they will be sending to the production. If any UAT defect is occurs, we need, from as a testing point of view, we have to support the customer, and where we are lagging or else we have missed out some any application or any functionality. So those things will be checked from your testing point of view, and you will be able to rectify. Suppose if it is in our, if it are miss issue or any mishap in your testing point of view, you have to rectify it, or any development issues or those things, they will be part of it, and they'll be taking care of it. Okay, so those things will be done in your waterfall model. So agile point of view, will be having kind of a daily scrum call. So obviously agile, we don't have a proper documents. Each and every 1 week you will be getting a document, and we won't be knowing that which is the latest document, and we have to keep on updating the customer, like these are document we received from your side and which need to be tested, and which recommend we are going to write it for the test design phase, and everything will be doing it. And in the customer perspective, and they'll be asking like so these functionalities been changed, or any or as a testing point of view, the QA team will be writing a design, and that time we'll be getting a new document, so that what you have to apply that new document changes to your particular test cases, and you have to update like daily 1 hour call with the customer side, and these things been updated from offshore or onshore, wherever you worked in. So we have to update to the customer, and this application is being not stable, or environment is we have an issue. So agile methodology is kind of little bit tough, so that you can able to get more practice of what are the exact up to date what you're going to do for the particular application, and what are the changes you have been facing, and what environment issues you are facing, and what are the defects you have been raised for the particular application, and what document so far you received. Those everything will be updated to the customer. So those things will be done in your agile methodology. So smoke testing, and next one will take smoke testing and sand testing. Smoke testing is nothing but after environment setup, everything is done from your development end, and their development team, they'll be deploying a code to your particular test application. So initially that we will be having a predefined scenarios to check whether the environment stability is fine with few scenarios. So after that, smoke testing will be done. Smoke testing will be part of it. That environment setup is everything stable, so we can start with our execution, and it should be proceed till your execution gets completed. So that we'll be doing a smoke testing, and sand test testing is nothing but which will be done by UI testing. UI testing is nothing but the development team also will be doing a part of one testing, and after that everything is working fine from their environment, they'll be sharing to the QA point of view, and we'll be checking smoke testing with valid scenarios, with predefined scenarios, and everything it's work on and it's perfectly, it's good, that environment stable is very good, and we can able to proceed for a particular application which we receive from the customer side. We can able to test in those environments. So that is how the smoke testing and sand testing is work on. So next one is like non-functional testing. Non-functional testing is nothing but usually we'll be doing ad hoc testing, reliability, functionality, interoperability, and location. So install testing. So those things which is apart from the functional testing, load testing, stress testing. Testing is nothing but how much application, that how much tabs you have been using in your particular browser, whether it is capable to get open a different 20 to 30 tabs, and it shows that the speedness and slowness of the particular application. So those kind of non-functional testing will be done. Suppose if it is case for getting a bug from as a QA point of view, we will be testing as all this kind of non-functional testing to get many defects or any bug. It may happen in the production also, right? If suppose suddenly a server is hanged up, or so any many control, some virus been attacked due to this web browser, is whether secured or not secured. So those all things as a QA point of view, we have to test it through your manual function on it. Okay, so these are things will be usually we will validating in your manual testing, and apart from this manual testing, will be having an we have put in those difference between the manual and automation. Why we are going to skip through your automation testing from manual to automation? So we'll be having that difference. So manual testing will be always a time consuming and tedious one, since the test cases are executing manual intervention. So automation testing, if we don't have a manual intervention, it consumes the time. Time consuming is way less, and it shows that significantly faster than human effort. Okay, so manual, and one more thing, like another point, like says that we having that human investment and managing human resource will be paying more cost to the each resources for as per the buildability of the customer side. So whereas automation, that's less investment for less investment compared to the human resource, and it is automatic test executed around 1,000 test cases while we automate the code. So we use, compared to manual testing, we used automation tool by using Selenium, and by using of Java code which using the Eclipse tool. So it useful for manual. Main purpose of manual testing to manual testing switch out to automation in the sense the time consuming, and it's used for regression purpose, and forced to automate the test cases, and we can get the result by compared to manual effort. So this is how the difference between manual and automation effort, automation testing. So this is about the manual testing we have been doing for so far in IT information technology. So far there will be a manual intervention, because we do have the system testing, system integration testing, and those perspective, because system testing also we can be automated through using Selenium, but system integration we couldn't able to automate. So manual intervention we always will be there. Compared to we won't be having much expectation in manual testing, but automation testing is nowadays it's a peak technology in IT side. So obviously we'll be switching over to Selenium, and moreover why we choose Selenium in the sense it is an open source tool, and moreover the cost saving tool for the customer side compared to QTP, UFT, and everything is excuse me, everything goes about the cost variation, right? So it is an open based tool and open source tool, so that we are using Selenium. So we'll be looking after that Selenium, what are the, so we are going to look about the Selenium, what Selenium does, and what are the Selenium limitation, what is the Selenium IDE, what does it do, and how it is work, and what are the limitation of IDE, debugging IDE, and everything. For Selenium we'll be using a Java code, and what that Java says about what is that Java, and the installation of Java, JDK, and configuration of a Java project, and how you will be using in Java project in Eclipse, and what are the classes and object, So what are the jar files we need to be used in your Java Eclipse, and what are the conditional statement we'll be using in Java, and how we are going to run your test cases through Java, and everything will be we have been put in detail of this slide, and we'll be giving a overall view of what are the things we are going to do in test automation and Selenium. Okay. So initially we start with Selenium. So what is the Selenium which it's been actually says about? Selenium is nothing but silver plus anode. It goes about the Selenium. So with a combination of Selenium which is used in the industries. So once we got that automation from Selenium tool by through Eclipse, so we'll be using a Java code. So first initially we use the Selenium IDE. IDE is nothing but Internet Development Environment Kit. So that will be used in your Mozilla Firefox. That is a basic software, basic web browser which adapt to your Selenium so that it downloads there. Or you can have a Chrome browser and whatever thing you can able to download the IDE, those functionality. I mean those environment kit in your web browser. And so IDE is nothing but it is a record and playback option. For that, whatever we do as a manual interruption of the particular application, whatever the action we performed in a web application, right, those things will be recorded, and it is nothing but it records whatever manual action we do it, and it shows that record and playback option. So we basically with Selenium IDE, it does actually this record and playback option. Main thing of Selenium IDE is nothing but record and playback option. So what Selenium IDE is Integrated Development Environment Kit. Therefore, it is usually implemented in Firefox extension, and it allows you to record, edit, replay, and test in software. So usually it used to save the test cases in HTML format, Java, excuse Java, Ruby script, and any other format you need it. You can able to download it, and you can able to put it in your Selenium IDE, and you can put it in your Eclipse so that you can run your test cases, and you can run your test cases through Eclipse. Okay, so it allows you automatically add the assistant points ls command, and those things will be verified in your Selenium IDE. So usually we can install the Selenium Firefox through add-ons, and you'll be getting a pop-up. So first time if you're showing that progress bar, and you'll be saying that window, I mean, download is completed and everything, it will started, and you can able to restart that, and you'll be getting the Selenium ID. So you can download the Selenium ID using the Selenium hq.org. This is the Selenium website, so that you can download all the required relevant, I mean, required software you need for the particular web application and web browser. Okay, so this of the Selenium ID installation, we have been put all the step-by-step process of how we use the Selenium, and how to download all the Selenium process. We have been downloaded, and we have been put in this PPT. So if you go through the slide, you can able to get it all the Selenium installation, and how you can produce, I mean, how you can be able to do and run your program and run your Selenium test cases and everything. You can able to do it in manual, whatever that was the record and playback option by using a Selenium ID. So each and every step, we are step by step process, we have been dig it out, and we have to put it for you people to understand, easy way of understanding all this, how we are going to run your test cases and everything, whatever option you needed, everything we have been marked, and we have been put it in your and put in this slide. So this is how the Selenium ID works out. And Selenium remote control is nothing but it is a cross browser testing. Suppose if you are the customer is giving an recommend, like you have to run my application in both parallelly, in order to avoid that. I mean, suppose if you have put in a 3 months project, and customer expecting at the end of the phase, I need to run both in parallel testing, like Firefox also should run my application, as well as in Chrome browser also should run my application. So if in that case, that we'll be using Selenium RC by using all the servers written in Java platform, and we have to use the proxy web request for them, and we have to show that client libraries based on the program language, and those are things should be pre-recorded and pre-defined in your local library, so that you can able to run your test cases through Firefox as well as Chrome driver, and you can able to run your test cases, and you can run your test cases through these two browsers, and whichever the customer expectation, you can add those web driver, and you have to download all the jar files needed for the particular particular browser and web driver for the Selenium. You have to download and keep it saved in your particular local library path. And we'll be using a JIT also. JIT is nothing but it's an app, so that if you want to run your test case in a different system or different platform, a different system in the sense you want to run your test case in a different system by connecting remotely by using GitHub. GitHub is nothing but it's kind of app. So you'll be having a number of nodes. So number of nodes nothing but you will be getting a different PC, different system IPs, and you will be connecting through locally. Before that, you have to turn off your firewall settings, because if the firewall set if it is firewalls on, you can't able to run your test case through your different system. So before that, we have to off your firewall and then you have to get your IP and you have to connect through your GitHub. And it's kind of usually like it's kind of a Wi-Fi device, so that you can able to run your you can Wi-Fi connected, you can get the internet connected. Same kind of so in Selenium point of view, we'll be connecting through GitHub and we'll be running through all your test cases through different systems. So that's how it works on in your Selenium. Okay, so we'll be having that. What are the things to be run? Installed for Selenium remote controls. You can able to download through http seleniumhq.org, and you can get the Java development kit. So that the latest version, you can get it all those relevant test Selenium process. Test automation process for Selenium IDE. You can get it on those things, and we have been put in this slide and each and step by step process. You can get it all the process development Selenium, JavaScript, and everything. So we'll be having it first. Initially we'll be downloading all the Eclipse, and after that we'll be explaining about that how we are going to write a program with the Java pre-coded. So initially, once you download all the Eclipse relevant software to the particular application, will be downloaded through Selenium Eclipse. And once Eclipse is downloaded, you will be saving all the necessary share path and local library in your particular system. And you have to create a, first of all, once you initiated, like install everything in your system with the whatever relevant Selenium or Selenium perspective. We need to download all the Eclipse Java environment kit ID and everything, yeah, and save it in your local library. Once Eclipse is been installed, you have to open the Eclipse and you have to create a Java project. First of all, initially you have to click on the file and you have to go for new and Java project, and initially you have to enter your project name. Suppose customer is working in a Flipkart and is giving that the Flipkart application to be navigated. So initially we have to create that project name, Java project name. You have to create those particular Flipkart and you have to create the class name. After once you create your project name, you have to create a package name. So once you create the package name, you have to create all the relevant libraries whichever you need for your Selenium Eclipse. You have to download all the relevant Eclipse and relevant Java files which is used in your Eclipse. You have to download and you have to put in your library for the relevant particular application. And after creating the package, you have to create a class name. So once you create all the class name for a particular application, so I already drafted the created an package name as in the sense of a Java project file. Initially I'll be using a file new open Java project, and after initiate the created, we have been using the package name. By right clicking the Java project, you have to create the package. Once you click the package, you have to give all the first letter should be in small letter, and because it is small, the package should be a small one. It should be the first letter will be short small one, and it goes through on capital letter. And after that, Java project is created and package everything created, we have to create a class file. So once you create the class file, the class is nothing but it's a group of for example, if you're creating a class nothing but you are taking is about any class in the sense of, for example, it is a best example like a 12th standard, it means to be like it's a classroom. So that is a classroom, and we'll be having Java like class, object, variables, and method. So what are the class, object, variable, method in the sense? Class is nothing but it's a 12th standard or whatever classes you're going to take it, okay? And the students are obviously called as an object. So we'll be having many students in your classroom. So each student will be having unique ID, character name, and everything. Those things will be called as a variable. And what are the things after variables will be having a method. So what are the students will be doing usually, in the sense like they'll be doing a seminar, reading, writing, and any work whatever the teachers have been assigned, those are things will be done. Those are whatever activity they perform, that is called a method. And constant is nothing but whatever value they've been, I mean, for assigning the value, for a variable assigning value. So that is a constant which usually used in your Java program. The main thing is like class, object, variable, method, and constant. Okay, so these are the main functions you'll be using in your Java programming and used to develop the code for a particular application by using Java Eclipse. So Eclipse support not only Java, it supports PHP, Ruby, Python, C Sharp, and everything. It supports for uh, Selenium perspective. Eclipse support all these kind of tool, I mean these kind of languages. So we usually, Java is like object oriented language, so we'll be having testing. We in Java, we are, these are the main thing will be main point of view will be having in the scope. And so we use all those things, and we develop the code and we run the test cases through Selenium. So I initially created that package of Java package, and I created a sample project. So I used to create that. After creating the sample project, we will be having the public stat void main. So void is nothing but it's a return type value that whatever be given as a program point of view, it accepts as a string value. So once a string value is being given, so it automatically read and fetched out, and our program and functionality and whatever the key used to do it will be having all those based on the functionality, and those keys values it will be uploaded. It will be fetched from your application, and you can execute your program through your Selenium automation. So I initially created that class name, and after that, what is the class name, and that, and what about that object? First, we had initially created class name and object, and what about the class name says about. So I initially created a student one, and student, what does the student doing? That it means that what method I have been used it. So method in sense what the student does. So reading what he used to do, any max or some whatever kind of subject. I've been created that method name, and after that I have been done the same thing. What are initially I've been given an integer, so that the student want that whatever I have given an integer, and after that I have given a printout. So this is a small example that we have been created for you people, so that you can able to understand what are the variable, methods, classes, object that we used to do in Java programming, and we used to create it all those things, and we'll be developing all project and relevant on the based on the application. So this hour we have an in detail of Java. We have put in all this in slides, and if you need more detail, you can just reach out us, and you can just get clarify whatever need or whatever in Java, whatever you need, and you can get in detail of everything which you can learn it. Okay, so this is how the Java program done, and by using Selenium, we'll be having a Eclipse that we have a locators, and how we used to find the element, and by using XPath and XPath, and what are the locators we usually find it, like CSS selector, name, IDE, and XPath. What are the variables of XPath? How we are going to implement in your web application drop down list? How we are going to select a Windows Angular alert, and everything will be covering through a Selenium point of view. We'll be doing all in, we have all the in detail of scope of Selenium testing, and we'll be teaching all those functionality and all how it is how it is working out, and how it's possible to get out uh, get all the web application selective point of view, and XPath, and how it is work on all the relevant classes and Java files we are using in Eclipse, and what are the web drive we be using so far for a particular execution, and everything implicity wait, synchronization, explicit wait, and thread.sleep, and end-to-end page, Windows browser navigating page to page, and everything Apache or POI. All these things will be covered in our Selenium project in detail. If we are get to get overall this being covered in your Selenium point of view as per our institution. Okay, so far if you have any doubts, kindly raise us, and we'll be getting clarified on it. Okay, so hopefully it's a good session. I hope so, because so far no, none of them raise any queries to me. So if in case if you have any queries, kindly log in on www.zrep.com, and you can post your queries over there, or else just ping us to this particular number. So kindly make a note of it. It is 9952947775. I repeat once again, it's 9952947775. So you can post your queries over here and you can get clarity on it. Thank you. Have a good day.